Let's go ahead and let's speculate and let's do 5 trade back scenarios in the first round for our New York Jets. Let's go ahead and let's get after it. Before I get into the video, if I could get you to please jet up the like button, and if you're new here and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do want to let you know we'll be live streaming this upcoming Wednesday night with Jake Asman. He is going to join the panel, and we're going to discuss all things Jets and NFL draft. The link for that stream will be in the description. I am also doing a jersey giveaway for the NFL draft, so if you have not subscribed to Jets Today, go ahead and do that right now. Support the channel and give yourself a shot at that awesome prize. Trade scenario number 1 is going to involve the New Orleans Saints, who are going to be trading picks number 16, number 19, and a potential future pick as well. And they would be trading all the way up to the number 4 overall pick. And I think that the Saints could be either looking to draft an offensive tackle in Ikem Ekwonu or Evan Neal, or they could potentially be trying to leapfrog some teams in the top 10 to go ahead and get their quarterback. The New York Giants could potentially be looking for a QB. The Carolina Panthers and even the Seattle Seahawks also should be in that conversation. And so to me, this is a dream scenario for our New York Jets. We have a number of holes on this football team, and the Jets brass, they've been very, very open about it. They have a number of holes, so it's kind of a positive because you can kind of go in a million different directions and you're hitting a big-time need. And to me, the mid-first round, the late first round, this is really the sweet spot of this draft. And we would be getting an additional pick in that range. So you could go get a wide receiver that you feel really good about in that range. I think that there's definitely going to be a wide receiver there. Chris Olave comes to mind. Jameson Williams could be there. Even Garrett Wilson, Drake London. There's a million names. You know all of the names. Linebacker comes into play in that range as well. You could get an edge rusher in that range. I think that there's no doubt they could go in a million directions. Linderbaum makes some sense with those picks as well. So I think it's a really good opportunity for the Jets to get more picks, to get in a good range, to get some good players. And ultimately, this is one of my favorite scenarios. Trade scenario number 2 is going to involve the Minnesota Vikings, who are going to give us pick 12, 46, and 77 in the draft. And we're going to give up the number 4 overall pick so that they can select cornerback Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. There's a lot of speculation right now that the Minnesota Vikings are smitten with him. And truth be told, this one hurts me deeply because I believe the New York Jets should absolutely consider taking Sauce at that 4th overall pick. But it's time to come clean. I think that, just because I want him at number 4 does not mean the New York Jets are going to do it. And that's kind of how I feel. I think that if the Jets have an opportunity to trade back with the Minnesota Vikings, they're getting a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd round pick in this year's draft. And they can use that in a number of ways. They can use it to pick players, obviously, at those spots. But I do think there's a scenario where the Jets make a trade back and they will trade up, maybe in using one of those 2nd round picks to get back into the 1st round and acquire yet another true talent in the draft. So this draft scenario involves the trade back with the Vikings, but also keeping in mind that those mid-round picks will be used to jump back up later. Just a few weeks ago, the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs had a trade agreed upon for the New York Jets to acquire Tyreek Hill. And so now the Kansas City Chiefs, they have a couple of picks in that late 1st round range, and maybe they want to make a jump up and get a guy who is very similar to Tyreek Hill. And so trade scenario number 3 is going to involve the Kansas City Chiefs giving us picks 29, number 30, and a future 3rd round pick in 2023. They're going to acquire the number 10 overall draft pick, and they're going to select wide receiver Jameson Williams out of Alabama. I think a lot of people will probably not like this draft scenario, but I've been saying all along, the mid to late 1st round is one of the best spots in this draft class. You're going to be able to get a number of guys, and I think that 29, 30 overall pick is a really good spot to get a wide receiver. Jahan Dotson out of Penn State is a guy I've talked a lot about. I think he would be outstanding in this offense. Christian Watson is a guy that could go in that range as well. So we're getting more 1st round picks. We get 2 in this trade and a future asset. I feel like it makes some sense. The Kansas City Chiefs have that need right now, and we get more and more draft capital. Trade back scenario number 4 is going to involve the Pittsburgh Steelers trading up to the number 10 overall spot, and they're going to be targeting a quarterback, either Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett, and they're going to have to give up number 20 overall and a 3rd round pick this year, and they're going to have to give up a future 1st round pick in the 2023 draft. So why is this such a great trade scenario for the New York Jets? And the answer is very simple. They're maintaining a 1st round pick this year, gaining a 3rd rounder in this year's draft class as well. And this is the only trade scenario in which the New York Jets are getting a future 1st round pick. And that would be 3 years in a row where the Jets had at least 2 1st round picks in each draft. And I think that having the flexibility and having the draft capital every single year like that is a very, very powerful thing. Consider the idea that if Zach Wilson just absolutely pops this season, has a really good season, even if he just has shows that he's going to be a franchise quarterback for the New York Jets, having the future picks is super important, because not only are you going to be able to get good players at those spots, you can use them in a trade. And I think that's the idea, is if you know what you have in Zach Wilson, having future picks allows so much flexibility in how you want to build your team. My 5th and final trade back scenario for this video is going to be the New York Jets trading with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Jets would acquire the number 15 overall pick and a 3rd round pick in this year's draft, and the Philadelphia Eagles would jump up to the number 10 overall pick. I just think that the Eagles and Joe Douglas, they have a history, and the Eagles have a number of draft picks. They are overwhelmed with draft capital, and I think that they may be looking to use some of it to maneuver in the draft. And the Jets, they're getting another 3rd round pick, so they would then have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. I think Joe Douglas likes to have multiple picks in each round. It's something that we've kind of seen from him as a trend. We do have 2 4th round picks. We do have 2 5th round picks. So there's something to be said for Douglas having multiple picks in every single round, and we would still maintain and have a great 1st round pick to maybe go ahead and get ourselves a wide receiver. I think ultimately this is a great draft day scenario that does not involve us falling way back into the 1st round. So what do you think? Do you think trading back is a terrible idea? Do you think the New York Jets should be sticking inside the top 10 with both of those picks and just landing the best players available? Or do you absolutely love the idea of trading back, acquiring more draft capital for this year and for next year? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.